We start the game off by dying.
Oh, lady, I have no idea. Oh, shit, that's not good.
Can you just hurry up already?
Alright guys, amazing video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. We wake up outside of God knows where, but after raising my sensitivity, because every time I play any video game ever, they think I want to turn my head like that one Devil May Cry meme, we see text on our screen. And no, this isn't just random tutorial text. This text our character can also see. He's not a fan of it, obviously, because when you wake up in the middle of a beach, you don't want to see hallucinations off rip. Maybe this is dehydration. I don't know. We'll never find out. But it gets even worse when it asks us what our name is, and well, we don't remember our name. Hell, even the radio's making fun of us. Maybe scream. But this game has some interesting mechanics, one of them being that if your gun sucks and was made back in post-World War I, it has a chance to just jam. Yeah, so let's say you're mid-gunfight, you know, there's 30 guys around you, you're peeking the corner, sitting lead down range, your gun will just jam, and you'll be forced to sit there and unjam your gun. I won't explain anything else to you because you know how guns work. You are definitely a bunch of people who play shooters, so I'm not going to go over this. And it seems that our character also knows how guns work. His voice doesn't assure of it, but his hands sure do. But after shooting some targets and the voice in our head cheers us on, we move into this random building. Now, you may be asking, what is the voice? My theory is dehydration, but the game says it's just us. Us who may or may not remember what happened before all this and what our main objective is. That's just my theory, a game theory, you know, the second theory. We'll find out 2 hours later in this video, do not worry. But one thing we do get is a trinket, and no, this isn't your professional paperclip. This is something imbued with the power of Black Reap's temporal anomaly. Yeah, so I'm really starting to go off of this dehydration theory, but you know, this game is very weird if you can't tell. But these can either amplify your skills and abilities or your weapon in general, which there's a lot of them, from nail guns to machetes. I'll get more into that later, but for now, we have this board full of people, which I'll also not get to right now and we'll get to later, except for one person. I'll just go across them as we come along here. The main one we need to talk about now is Juliana Blake, the person who killed us at the start of the game. You'll understand later why this happened and why that definitely wasn't a dream. I don't know if you could have solved imbued from that. They wouldn't just show you a dream of someone killing you and then not even 10 seconds later have the same person talk to you and saying they'll kill you over and over again if you don't break this loop. The same thing this voice in our head wants. Nor would I give you subtle foreshadowing for what happens later in this video. But we find out her and everyone else on this board has one thing in common. They have this thing called a slab. What is a slab? Not the thing from Ed, Edd n Eddy, and it's a thing we will get to later. I know you're probably sick of hearing it, but trust me, the slab will come a lot, you know, sooner than you think. Now we have our hands on this thing called a hackamajig, which was made by us. And, you know, we'll just toss away this postcard. It won't be important later. But what's important now is that this item can be used to hack electronics that have these antennas. Now, I'm giving you this information because this is how the game is giving me the information. They throw a lot at you very quickly, and it's not like it's overwhelming when you hear it being spoke. When you see it in game, you're like, oh, that makes sense. When I'm spewing it to you, you're probably like, this guy actually sounds like a lunatic. I am. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, I am doing that. But it's because this game is really fun, and there's some really cool thing that you're gonna find out later that I'm gonna spoil now. This game is very open world and lets you play how you wanna play. You wanna sneak around like you're Solid Snake? You can do that. You wanna run and gun throughout the entire city? You could do that. You wanna, you know, do a mix of both? You can also do that. The game doesn't care how you play the game, it just cares that you get from point A to point B. And you will typically do that as long as you're not stupid. But anyway, back to the game itself. We hacked this door, and now this text is telling us that we know a code to this door, which we don't. The postcard's on the floor, we won't remember that for later. But the voice does tell us her name. It's Colt, and we get our next mission. Find the code to the door. No, we're not going to go back and look at the postcard. We don't know this yet, but I do, because I was killed already. I'm in the next loop. But as we climb through this cave, we find out that the water here is actually terrible. You know, when you're in the future, the pollution issue got very bad, basically turning the water into straight up sulfuric acid, because if you walk through it, it damages you, and if it's deep enough, it will just kill you. I don't have that issue, at least yet. Don't worry, we'll put a counter on screen how many times I die of stepping into water. But just like the water kills people, I killed this guy here who was just taking a piss. Yeah, I stabbed him. But yeah, two things you learn from this encounter is that apparently we have done this plenty of times before. Trust me, you learned a thing from a loop or two. But another thing is this guy turned into pixels on the floor. No, this is not the game being silly. This is something that actually has lore significance. Will we ever find out? Yes, you will. But no, we'll get to that later. We make our way up this mountain area and we get a stealth mechanic called tagging, which if you hold down the button on your respective console, PC, Nintendo Switch, you can mark an enemy, which acts as a live ping. But you can also see what they're thinking, what gun they have, if they see you, and their main way of playing the game themselves, which is very interesting stealth mechanic. And it was so interesting, in fact, that me, who was trying to go for stealth in this situation, decided to pick the worst hiding spot of all time while hacking this thing, and was immediately spotted. So the game gave me this brilliant tip about these guys called ethereal scouts. So once again, as I stated before, this game is very open world-ish. I say. Not like, you know, you live in this vast land and area, as in each place is big in scale, and you can traverse it in any way you want. So, to circumvent the fact that not everyone's going to be in one spot, there's going to be certain small groups. If you ever get spotted in-game, you will get jumped by the people there, and a person named an ethereal scout will go to get some backup to then start using every one of your holes. Hey, it takes two to tango, some say. So, what do you do to prevent this situation from happening? You can either A, kill him. They are very easily indicated. They have this little like orange wire thing. I might put it on screen if I feel like it. Or you can just hack the scout's radio to slow down this call and then kill them. So, what did I do in this situation? Yeah, let's just say, King Von moment, I'll be damned if I get pegged at the prologue. But after this, we get a call from who else but Juliana.
Oh, yeah, hello? Hello?
It's Juliana, in case you didn't remember.
Okay, look, I don't know what I did last night. Exactly. But if you could just,
What? What did you say?
I think we know each other. We know each other, don't we?
Yes! Finally! You're back! So, how much do you remember about me?
Well, it's a little hazy.
What do you remember?
My name's Colt.
About me!
You want to kill me for some reason, and I already know some fucking code, which I don't, and it's
You
looping.
wanna break the loop, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Look, if you don't try to break the loop, I'm just going to kill you over and over again in increasingly violent ways until you do.
Fine, I'll break your fucking loop, and whatever I did to piss you off, I'm sorry.
She also wants us to break the loop. Why? We'll have no idea. Find out next time, whenever I get this whole video out. You're pissed. But we enter this building, and we find our healing source being this soda, and we walk into probably one of the traps of all time.
Oh, shit! What?
Oh, you always fall for the same old shit. Just once, please. Can you try your hardest to make this interesting?
Whoa. What the fuck is this?
Carnices. Ooh, you're gonna give me that attitude? You know, I usually make it easy for you, you ungrateful prick. But this time I'll let you see yourself out.
Yup, we dated.
Now, if you weren't confused before, well, you sure will be after what you're getting ready to witness on your screen right now.
Okay, here goes. You gotta be shitting me! Are you? Listen, me? You wrote it on Black Reef. You already know the code. What the fuck does that mean?
Hello? Are you dead yet? I'm
Hold me up! The postcard, dumbass! You wrote it on the Black Reef postcard. Understand? Okay. I'm gonna drop you now. Wait, no, wait!
Fuck!
No!